already know just where I be, dog. I ain't being cocky, but Philly what I'm reppin'. Watch me check it like it's hockey. I ain't tryna get it twisted. If you get it, then you got me. If you with it, cool. If not, I'll treat you like a Tamagotchi. I'ma let you down point. Yeah, I never disappoint.
What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a different one. We're going to be talking about the current state of NHL 18. Now, you guys saw, if you did, I uploaded a Call of Duty video, and I kind of want to explain my thoughts in an NHL video as well, just in case you didn't really want to watch the COD video. So it's going to be similar points in both videos. So if you already saw it, then maybe this isn't the video for you. I mean, if you want to keep watching, do whatever you really want. So anyway, as I stated in the other video, right now NHL 18 feels absolutely terrible. Now, how many times this year have I come on my channel and said that the game feels terrible? I couldn't even count them. Now we are, what, 4 months into the game, I think, right? No, 3 months, 4 months, something around there, and it still feels terrible. Now, I know I'm not the only one that's thinking this, but even at the start of the game, right, everyone's complaining about the super clunkiness, the slow pace of play, the horrible HUT ratings, the everything that was just terribly wrong with the game. And they slowly improved the clunkiness and the pace of play. Slowly. Now you can actually move around the ice without feeling like a block. Like you're not 2 blocks standing there and you're skating. Now it feels like a hockey game, but it still feels terrible. Like, I don't know what they did wrong or who's developing this game. Well, I know who, obviously, it's EA, but like the actual people. Like, they went from NHL 17, which wasn't a terrible game, but when you look at this game, it was just, there's such a big difference that a lot of things they do right in one game, they completely change it into the next game. Now, I like to say that sports games aren't just roster updates or, add a new mode and roster updates. I like to think that they're not. But when you finally get something right as far as the skating or the pace of play or the ratings or anything like that, then I would appreciate if they didn't change that, right? I mean, last year, the pace of play was maybe a tad too fast, maybe. I mean, it's fast, obviously. Like, if you watch NHL, like, it's fast-paced. Like, it's no longer, slow developing play. Like, they'll still do that, but it's very, very, I don't want to say rare, but you're going to find more fast-paced action than slow-paced, if that makes sense. So, they sort of fixed the clunkiness. The pace of play is still, like, whatever, but there's still a lot of problems. I could sit here all day and nitpick every single little thing, which is probably what I'm going to do in the future, but this game is like, obviously made my channel off of NHL, right? I loved playing the game, so I was like, you know what, let's try making videos. Fell in love with making videos, but then, it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again with NHL, and Call of Duty is different because it's different every year, but the same thing with NHL is they make it almost worse every year. And yes, they add new game modes. Yes, it's new rosters and new teams. This year we obviously had the expansion draft. Great new feature. However, it's just kind of the same thing every, I guess, draft. Like, it's going to be basically the same players with the occasional 1 or 2 different players. Like, if you go to the expansion draft and do the 32nd team or even Vegas, you're going to get basically the same players. Like, there's only so much available at that expansion draft that it's like, it's going to be the same thing. Like, even if you turn off the authentic one to where you just play as Vegas, like, even if you turn that off, like, you're still gonna pick the same players. Like, does anyone else notice that or no? Like, I mean, like I said, there's gonna be changes with like 1 or 2, but it's still like, it's dumb. And then Be a GM mode is like, okay, you play it once or twice and you've basically seen everything. Be a Pro mode is the same thing it's been for the past, what, 7 years? I don't think they've really changed much. I mean, you go to, request a trade and they don't ever trade you unless you're like a superstar. So that's kind of dumb. Then this is a quick little story before I continue on my little rant here. But I was in a Be a Pro mode. I was an 82 overall top line center that was putting up 100 points a year for 2 years playing in Carolina. Now, I didn't want to be in Carolina, obviously, but I got drafted there. But also, how did I get drafted? It was like 14th or something to Carolina. Like, I absolutely dominated the juniors, and like, it's so dumb because you could put up like 300 points a year and still be drafted like later in the first round. Like, if you put up 300 points a year, obviously you're doing something right. But it's like, if you don't get those coach feedback things perfect, like, you're not going to be up there, which is dumb. But we'll make a whole new video about Be a Pro mode. But, you know, you could do anything in that game mode that you could do anywhere else, but it's just so boring. Like, you play it through it once and there's nothing new. Like, you don't see anything different. Like, you're just going to the same teams and doing the same thing. You're just dominating and getting paid nothing for it. And then nothing's changing as far as rosters. And, you know, like, the good teams are still going to be good. Like, it's going to be the same boring thing every single time. Like, there's nothing new about Be a Pro mode. Which sucks because I love the game mode. But it's like, you know, you can't really do anything about it. So, back to my little rant about that is, like, NHL has become super, super stale to where either a new developer needs to come in and make the game, or EA needs to fire everyone who's ever worked on an NHL game for them and just start out with brand new ideas, because they keep coming out with the same crap every year and they can't even have poke checks and stick lifts and shooting correct ever. And then you saw how terribly the game started with the clunkiness and the pace of play. Like, you can't tell me you're playtesting this and be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Like, what? Like, who's playtesting it for you? Like, stupid people? Or is it all of your, you know, content creator group that apparently there's no information about? Or, you know, all of your, what do they call it? The Game Changers program. What about that? What do they change about the game? Like, they do nothing. Like, you don't listen to the community and you don't change anything about your games except for make it worse every year and try to create new things, but then absolutely are terrible with it. Like, you see it in every EA game where there's just stupid little animation glitches and bugs and, you know, the same stupid stuff every year. So, when it's going to be enough where they actually change it to where it might stay good for the first half of the year and not completely suck to where I want to go play Call of Duty and just never get back on this game again. Like, there's times where I'll be on NHL, I'll want to play games, I'll want to record I want to record gameplays, and it's like, I know I'm going to get into, like, I'm either going to face the best teams in the world or the worst players on the game. Like, there's no difference. It does not matter if you're in Division 1 or Division 10, or if you have a stack squad, or if you have a full bronze squad. You can face anything. And that's what's the problem with HUT Online. Then you go to competitive seasons, which is supposed to be the most competitive game mode there is, and then that sucks. And then, you know, the ranking system is terrible. Like I've stated multiple times, that I could win 5 games in a row, get up to the #1 rank, then lose 1 game and go back to 1300. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But then we go into, you know, EASHL, which I've thought about doing, but then if I don't play with like a full team of 6 or even, you know, a few friends, like, it's gonna be just myself talking, or if I play with my brother, or, you know, my brother and one other person, like, it's just gonna be us kind of not saying anything for most of the game. Like with my brother, me and him know how each other plays. Like, we don't have to say a single word the entire game, and we can just line up plays and we can just dominate the competition. But when it comes to random players and anything else, it's just like, I don't want to play with them because they're all terrible and don't know what they're doing. So it's like, it would just be me live commenting it, or it would just be a lot of silence with music in the background. So, you know, I've thought about uploading ESHL, but, you know, it's not going to be that interesting for a video unless I get a bunch of people on. So that's what sucks there. Then offline game modes, like I said, Be a Pro mode's just dumb, and Be a GM mode's basically the same thing, that if you play it once or twice, you know exactly what's going to happen. Now, you could always go pick different teams like I try to do. I try to do new teams every year. You know, if one year I do Ottawa and the Rangers and, you know, a couple other ones, then, you know, I'll try to do completely different teams the year after, and then, you know, just try to change up a little bit. But it's still like, after you play the game mode once, like, you know who's going to be the best prospects. You know what players get good. You know the kind of those steal picks that in the beginning of the mode you can basically steal away for nothing, and still, like, they'll grow like crazy. Like, if you play it once, you'll know that. Like, it's just, It's so tough because I love this game and this franchise so much, but yet it's just so frustrating to play. So, like I said in the other video, I want to upload NHL, but it is so tough to play. And with COD, and I'm really enjoying COD, you know, it might be more COD coming up in the future, maybe like half and half, because currently I don't really enjoy playing this game. So maybe it'll change, maybe it won't, I don't know. But anyway, wrap it up here, guys. If you guys did enjoy, hit that like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.
Jumping off the porch like mom's not home. Just a couple kids living on